Hey, what's happening, Nation? It's SJ. I'm sorry I was getting things set up. It has been a minute since I've done a live show. Really happy you guys could all make it out tonight. We are going to be doing the Who Has the Advantage, moving the check marks around. But I thought it'd be cool to do it live and just kind of get your guys' opinions and just kind of get everybody's feedback on it as we're going. We're not going to waste too much time, though. We're going to go ahead and jump into it because these videos do take a pretty good minute. And I don't want to really skip over anything unless I truly have to. So if you are new to the channel, think about subscribing. I really would appreciate that. It really does help me out. But before we do get started, what's going on with Damon Arnett? I don't understand what the hell is happening with that. Can we please just release this dude already? I'm pretty much over it. Like, I'm completely done with it. That Instagram shit is the end of it for me. Get rid of him. It's the end of that. It sucks to say that, but I had a lot of high hopes for that kid, but it is what it is. Blake, what's happening, man? Al, how are you doing? Junior, what's going on, dude? Yo, what's happening, man? It's been a minute. All right, let's start off with Danny Dimes against Derek Carr. Derek Carr is having an incredibly good season right now. Danny Dimes has been struggling. He only has thrown 7 touchdowns. He's only thrown 5 picks, but his QB rating has him right around like that 23 mark as far as being ranked in the NFL, which means he's in the bottom 10. This offense has been struggling. The Giants have been bit by the injury bug more so than any other team I've seen in a good minute, and they have injuries going into this game. We'll get into them as we kind of work down the list, but it's pretty obvious in this one that Derek Carr is going to get this check mark. That is pretty blatant to everybody, but I really think this game is going to be a true test for this Raiders team. It's really going to be a struggle. I think there's been so much shit just kind of building up on this team. But we're coming off our bye. Hopefully they've had a chance to kind of come together and been working together. I really want everything to just kind of stay focused. But, I mean, we've had like a huge monkey wrench thrown into this thing. But I got to give the advantage to Carr because if someone's going to lead this team and get us past this Giant squad, it's going to be him. I don't know if he's going to end up having a huge game number-wise, but as long as he can have a huge game just as far as quality completions and then not really stretching the field but just kind of working the ball down the field and extending. We're going to have some like long drives in this game, like 10 to 12 play drives, and then be able to finish at the end, and that's going to be one of the big difference makers for this game. I'm counting on the fact that Derek Carr can do it, so we're going to give him the check mark. Oh, come on. Jesus. All right, not as bad as I thought. Silver, what's going on, dude? He's got, yeah, let him go. Let his ass go. 8, what's going on? Carr is going to have to, no, Carr has to be able to step up, dude. Anthony, what's good? It's been a minute, man. Issues, how are you doing? And our team has, the gas has been human. Dude, I'm telling you right now, man. Costas, what's going on? Thanks for coming out, dude. Anthony, oh, dude, I was watching that UFC earlier. I recorded it, so I'm going to finish it off later, so we'll see what's happening with it. All right, let's keep pushing on into this running back room. Saquon is out. Brightwell's questionable for this game for them, which means we're going to be getting a big old dose of our old friend Booker. We've seen that Booker can bust some runs. Booker can make some plays. He's running behind a, I don't know, that offensive line kind of sucks, but they have they have a really good fullback and they have a really good tight end. So, I mean, he's going to have a chance, and our run games or our run defense has been pretty poor, so I'm really curious to see what happens. But with Saquon not playing in this game, obviously our running back room's completely healthy at this point. I was talking about it the other night that I'm expecting Josh Jacobs to be able to rip off and finally get over that 100-yard mark, and I'm really counting on that to happen in this game. And I think that's also going to help Derek Carr and kind of extend some of these drives that we're going to have. I think Kenyon Drake's going to be pretty active in the receiving game. And then as far as Richard goes, you're going to see him on third downs. I'm curious to see if Barber's going to end up being a healthy scratch or not. Usually he is when everybody's completely healthy because we carry in our first 3 and then we end up bringing Ingold in as that 4th for us. But I'm definitely going to have to give the advantage to the Raiders. It would be a different question if Saquon was playing, but with Saquon not playing, there is 0 chance that I'm giving Booker the advantage over Jacobs and Drake. Like 0 chance of that. Oh, that one worked out a lot better. Nice. Jump into some of these real quick. Zay Jones, time to shine. Zay Jones, time to Sean, what's going on, dude? It is his time to shine, but at the same time, there's a lot of other receivers that I want to see possibly step up. I think Stoner has a definite possibility. I always favored Aitman over Doss. I talked about it through the preseason that I didn't think these guys were going to make this team and even be on this practice squad. But here we see Aitman being activated to the main roster. I've always liked that kid. He's a big body. He's a red zone threat. Carr has stretched him down the seams a few times that he has played over the years. So I'm really hoping that Aitman can be that guy to kind of turn the tide and just kind of open this game up for us a little bit, even though it's hard to go deep against this Giants team. It is what it is. Show some love to the Raider Nation, sharing like, I'd appreciate that. We get the check mark on every position. Anthony, I wish we did, man. If I did it like that, it wouldn't be no fun. Jay Jones can do it at wide receiver. He just hasn't had a chance. I'll give you that, man. And a lot of people say that when Jay Jones was playing a decent amount last season, that Derek Carr just wasn't looking his way, and he was open, and he just wouldn't get the ball thrown to him. They had chemistry. They always freaking have chemistry through the offseason. It's all you hear about is Derek Carr and Zay Jones, but they never put that shit together on Sunday. Maybe this is going to be the week now where we see it all come together. Zay Jones can come out there and say, like, I can be your number 2 wide receiver. I would love every second of that. A lot of people still want to see us go after OBJ. I personally don't think he's going to clear waivers. I really think the Saints are going to end up snatching him up. I was talking to my brother, and everything in the Saints newsrooms are saying that they're going to go after him. And then the Packers, I believe, are also in. I don't know if the Packers are in front of us or if we're right there with the Packers as far as that waiver wire goes, but I know they were showing a ton of interest in it too. I would take OBJ, talked about it the other day. I know he's a diva, but just to get us through the season and have an outside wide receiver that defenses are forced to respect, and I'll take that, man. I'll take that all damn day. Say Jones is starting for the football. I'm not worried. I'll give you that. Oh, Arno, what's going on? Stumbling, how are you? We never have a number 1 wide receiver ever. It's Stoner time. I'm curious to see what happens with Stoner. Unknown, how are you doing, man? Final score, 14 Giants, Raiders 37. I do not see us blowing them out. If we blow them out, I'll be so damn happy. That'll be like a statement and a half if we can come out and do that. What do you expect from our offense tomorrow? What do you think Olsen will do? I don't think our offense should change very much at all. I think it's going to look a hell of a lot like it did against that Denver game just because the Giants defense and that Denver defense play a very similar situation. I think you're going to see Stoner underneath like a tremendous amount. You're going to see Renfro underneath a tremendous amount. Like all these routes are going to be like those slant routes that we saw. And if we can end up getting those working early, that will honestly extend it out. Like you got to get the run game going, and then you have to be able to come out and get those little underneath routes. It's the only way you're going to have an opportunity to stretch the field. Dave, what's going on, man? Shit, that was my bad. Bradley said the team had a focus practice on Thursday. If that is true, the Giants will get a whooping of their season. Dude, this defense is going to have to carry us a pretty decent amount through this game. I am not going to lie. All right, let's jump into that wide receiver room since we're already talking about it. Sterling Shepard is out for this game. Kenny Galladay, from everything that I have read, seems like he is trending forward, and he will be able to play in this game. Darius Slayton's completely healthy for him. John Ross is going to be a game-time decision. And then Kadarius Toney, we'll have to see what happens with him. He's completely fine. He just hasn't been too big of a part of their offense so far. But something tells me that he could be the guy that could step up and kind of fill that role for him, especially if he's going against, like, we're going to have to see who's at that cornerback position. I'm really hoping Faison starts this game. My soul is praying for that, him starting as that outside spot. I think we'd be okay with that. If Meek Robertson starts on the outside, which I don't think is going to happen, but according to our depth chart, it has a possibility, so I just want to see how that plays out. But I'm pulling for Faison to just kind of take this role over. I don't understand why he's not that number 1. Let me just double-check that real quick. Yeah, they got Hobbs starting right now. But I think Hobbs is going to stay on that nickel spot. We're going to be playing a hell of a lot of nickel this game. Sorry, I got off track completely there. But our wide receiver room, it sucked to see, dude. Like, looking at our depth chart and then not seeing our full wide receiver room on there. And, like, from everybody from Ruggs down to Snead, like, the people that have just been moved off this team. People that, like, John Brown that I wish we had right now. But looking at it, they have... Jesus. They have Hunter Renfro as our number 1. They got Brian Edwards as our number 2, and they got Zay Jones sitting in the 3rd. Then we got Dylan Stoner and Aitman behind them. This wide receiver room has to be able to step up. If their wide receiver room wasn't so depleted with injuries, I think I would honestly give them the advantage in this game. And honestly, they still might get it. It's really a toss-up as far as this wide receiver room goes because we need our wide receivers to step up in a tremendous fashion. But this Giants team, with the exception of Sterling Shepard being out, they should end up, I don't know, man, that offensive line, they let them get to Daniel Jones. It's a tough one for me. This is why I don't do these shows live, because I go back and forth so much. But until my wide receiver room can prove to me that these guys can step up, I'm going to have to give the advantage to the Giants on this one, just because I want to see what Stoner can actually bring to the table. I want to see if Aitman can actually step up. If we're going to have Renfro playing in that outside wide receiver spot, which I don't see happening, I think it's definitely going to be Zay Jones. I think this is just screwed up on here. But even Zay Jones playing on that outside, can he get involved early? Can he get those slant routes? I'm not expecting him to stretch the field, but we at least have to be able to get the ball into his hands. These are things that I have to see first, so I'm going to give the advantage to the Giants on this one. Also for the sake of just being able to move on. Eddie, what's going on? Kelly, how are you doing, man? Should have a good game overall. I'm really hoping we do. We had a Zoom call with Deshaun Jackson today. I saw that, and we'll see. Like everybody was talking about how him and Mayock have a history together, but I don't know. I want to see what happens. I want to see what happens with OBJ before we decide Deshaun Jackson. Like, I don't think that's too big of a deal to just kind of wait and see what happens. If not, I'll take D-Jax for sure. Eddie, what's happening to Deshaun Jackson being a Raider this Monday? All I'm saying is see if he clears first before you pull the trigger on that. People like Dylan Stoner because he's white. I think people like Dylan Stoner because of his name. I don't think it has anything to do with his color. They said Deshaun Jackson is signing with us Monday. I mean, I read that, dude, but I want to see what happens with it. So many of these talks come out over the weekend, and you never see what's going to... It never actually ends up playing out until I see it actually signed on that dotted line. I don't like to speculate on it. Waller 2 TDs. Drake and JJ each rush for 1, and Drake will get 1 receiving TD. So Drake ends up with 2 touchdowns, JJ with 1, and what? Dude, that's 4 touchdowns. Dude, that would be crazy. If that ends up panning out, I'll take that all day, Autumn. This will be the test to see if our team is actually awake. If we haven't learned, we're not sleeping and playing a team at MetLife Stadium. Yeah, thank you, because I'll tell you right now, this Giants team took that damn Chiefs team down to the wire, and I understand the Chiefs haven't been playing that great, but, dude, I will see. Faison will start, and hopefully Amik is above Trufant. Whew, man, I'll give you that. I am not a Trufant fan at all. I would take Amik playing in front of Trufant, but I want Brandon Faison starting this game. If the Raiders get blown out, they will... they are not contenders. A close loss or win means that they're still contenders. I will give you that, Classic. I will. Because there's a shot that we go into this New York Stadium, the weather completely sucks, the wind is kicking, we're all distracted, and we end up losing. If we lose this game by like a field goal in the last second, I won't be like pissed. Like, I really won't. But if we lose this game to the point where the Giants blow us out of the water like the Falcons did last year, that'll break my damn heart. Giants are going to be playing mad for the loss to KC. It'll be interesting. My big thing about the Giants right now is they're third in their division. They're 2-6. They got a bye week after our game. They just seem like they're kind of broken right now. Like, the whole team is just kind of depleted. Like, they've kind of given up. There's been a lot of talk about moving on from Daniel Jones. Been a lot of talk about moving around that front office and changing things up. Part of me thinks like this team is just kind of giving up on this season. That's why a lot of these guys are either still riding the IR. They got 13 players sitting on their IR right now. You got players missing games on a week-to-week basis. It just seems like these guys aren't into it, and the worse that their actual record becomes, the more these guys are just like, man, screw this. I don't really want to jump into this and kind of see what happens. They don't want a chance getting an injury or something like from that nature. So I don't know. I'm really hoping this team has just kind of been like, no, we're done, and then we're going to go in there, roll through them, because the 3 games after this are going to be crunch time games that are going to make or break our season moving forward, that we have to be able to stay healthy through. Don't sleep on them Giants, guys. You can't. You cannot sleep on them. Devontae Adams is the long-term solution. D-Jax or OBJ to be a rental for the rest of the year. Sean, that's exactly how I see it. Like, either one of those guys coming out of this team, unless like they come out and just truly ball, which I don't think D-Jax would be able to do. I think he'd be the guy to come in and just kind of stretch the field when you had to, but that would kind of make our offense more predictable. That's why I really don't like him, like, to be completely honest. OBJ is the more rounded, all-around wide receiver that can run those slants, run those outs, run every damn route that you need him to run, and be a threat at all of them. That's really why I'd like to see us wait before we just pull the trigger on D-Jax real fast. Already cleared the waiver wire. Yes, no, he already did, dude. I'd love to see Fluker at right tackle. He can upgrade our run game. I would too, but I'm curious to see if that actually happens or not. Is this your first live show? Who has the advantage? This is the first Who Had the Advantage live show. I usually do these pre-recorded like all the time just because I do go back and forth and I end up just kind of getting lost in my head. So we'll see what happens. Deshaun Jackson wasn't waived. He was cut. He doesn't have to clear waivers. That is correct. Sorry about that. Are the Raiders going to win? In my personal opinion, yes, but I don't think it's going to be an easy win. What's up with DJ Fluker? We just have to see, dude. We have to see if he actually gets activated to the roster, because as of right now, he has not been. If he does get activated up, then yes, he will have a chance to play, but they have to do that. I think they have 2 hours before the game, but I don't see it happening, dude. So Joku has done, yeah, dude, I've done a ton of live streams, but this is the first time I've ever done this. That's why I got to kind of keep trying to push through it real fast. Jumping into that tight end room, Evan Ingram is a badass tight end. I am not going to lie. Kyle Rudolph is a very good tight end. Both those dudes have been proven over the years. Rudolph has kind of transitioned more into a blocking tight end, but at the same time, that dude can still go up and catch a ball. He is a huge target in the red zone. Ingram is the same way. They can both block good as hell. I really like their tight end room. They really pull a lot of weight for this Giants team. They really help in their run game a lot, and it's really going to be huge for both those guys being on the field. You're going to see them running a lot of two tight end sets in this game as well, just trying to open up that run game for Booker, but they will still be able to pass out of that. We definitely have the advantage as far as the tight end goes. There's like one or two tight ends that I would put above Waller in the NFL right now. But it's not either one of these two dudes. Like, there's no chance. And then Foster Moreau, I'm expecting to have a huge impact on this offense going into next week. I think he got a little taste of it last week. And this week, you're going to end up seeing him really come in there and start rolling. The advantage is definitely going back to the Raiders for this. The tight end room is one of our strongest rooms, and it always has been. We brought in Daniel Helm. I honestly don't know too much about that kid, but with Bowers being placed fully on IR, we had to bring in somebody. Well, let me know if you know anything about him, but as of right now, I don't care, just because I know Waller and Foster will be able to carry this. D-Jax would probably be used like Ruggs last year. Yeah, possibly. I see him being used more like a Nelson Aguilar, to be honest with you. Zay Jones is fast. Stoner is not even close. Dude, Stoner's pretty damn fast, too. They're like, one ran a 4.5, one ran a 4.6. So, I mean, they're like a quarter of a second across. I'm excited for this one. Pete, what's going on, man? Okay, the Dollar Store Renfro. Man, full moon. That kind of, that's true, but it hurts. 6-2, call it into existence. No, dude, it's gonna be 6-2. It has to be 6-2 before we hit that next 3-week stretch, because we have to come out of that next 3-week stretch at 7-4. And if we come out of that at 7-4, we're probably still gonna be tied for first in the division, and we'll still be probably within the top 3 seeds. It's going to be an easy win. DC thrives in controversy. He needs that fat contract. He's getting that fat-ass contract either way. I think the Raiders win 27-17. We had to beat the Giants to beat the Rams. We beat the Giants and the Rams beat Tennessee, or the Raiders would be the number 1 seed in the entire AFC conference. With all this drama this past few weeks, the adversity is in the blood. Man, I am telling you, there's a chance that this Raider team comes out like completely unified and completely pissed off and just rolls this Giants team. And that's what has to happen. And I would love to see that happen, because that will show us that they have rose above all the bullshit that they've been dealing with, and it is time to move on from that. I think we blow out the Giants. I'm kind of right there with you. Ball slow, no separation. Anthony, who are you talking about? If you're talking about Renfro, you done lost your mind. As far as Aitman goes, he can get separation in the red zone just because he is such a big body. Stoner, like I said, dude, I want to see what he brings to the table. This game is very big for the rest of the season because we have 3 tough games. Yeah, dude, Ardo, that's what I'm talking about. Who knows, maybe Stoner is another Edelman. Dude, that would be huge, but we have to see it happen. All right, jumping in these offensive lines. This Giants offensive line, they have Soldier on one side. They have Soldier on the right and Hernandez on the right, which honestly is their stronger side of the line. This offensive line is not brilliant. Their offensive line is kind of on par with ours. Our offensive line has played incredibly better over the past 2 games. They've looked like they've been a little bit more in sync. They've been making the right calls. As far as Andre James goes, he seems like he's gotten a hell of a lot more comfortable. But just with the guys that we have been playing, if Brandon Parker can continue to step up his game, Leatherwood's been looking a hell of a lot better at that guard spot. And then John Simpson or, and I'm curious to see if Ellamore gets back into this. We'll see what happens with that right or the left guard position. And then Colton Miller's like a damn solid like rock sitting on that left tackle position. So I'm going to give the advantage to our offensive line just because I do like the consistency that I have seen over the past couple weeks. I think they really are starting to come together. And I think Yannick and Mad Max are going to destroy that offensive line of the Giants. I think that's going to be one of the major factors in us winning this game. If you can get pressure on Daniel Jones early and often, especially with the depleted wide receiver room, and you can keep a body on that freaking tight end, we will be fine in this game, and this defense will thrive because of that. So let's move this check over. Gotta keep rolling through these things. Man, it sucked because for like the first 3 to 4 weeks of the year, I was not able to give a check mark to our offensive line. It's nice for him to be able to get 1 or 2. Let's start jumping over to the defensive side of the ball real quick. We are playing against a 3-4 defense, which Derek Carr has always struggled with, but this 3-4 is not as strong. But their front three are pretty damn good. We'll jump in and we'll start with them. It's, let me roll this down real quick. Dexter Lawrence, Austin Johnson, and then Leonard Williams. And we all wanted Leonard Williams. I'm sure Leonard Williams was wishing he was a Raider right now instead of being stuck on that damn Giants team. They got Danny Shelton behind that. And they got Raymond Johnson behind that. This defensive front is honestly pretty good. If these guys can get in a rhythm and start getting some pressure, it'll be a long damn day for Derek Carr. I do not see that happening. That is one thing that we can't avoid. And the fact that Lorenzo Carter is going to be out of this game is a huge advantage because they're not going to be able to run that little trap blitz where he ends up coming off the edge and then kind of roll that defensive end around the side. I really want to see what ends up happening as far as this pass rush goes, but I think our offensive line will be able to hold up. As far as our defensive line goes, we are going to feast in this game. Our defensive line has been the strongest positional group on our team by far. The rotation has been excellent. They've been getting a ton of pressure. They've been getting a ton of QB hits. They've been forcing turnovers. It has really looked damn good for us. There's only a handful of teams that I would put their defensive line rotation above ours. This Giants team sure as shit is not one of them. We are definitely giving a check to our defensive line. Jump into some of these. I don't see Stoner in the preseason. How was he? He honestly looked pretty damn good through the preseason. That's why you got all this kind of hype going behind him. Good evening, buddy. Raiders 42, Giants 23. Dell, how are you doing, man? Humberto, how are you? We got to make another statement by blasting the Giants. We can't be broken. Dude, no, we can't be. But this team has had so many games so far this year where it's had to be a statement that we come out and win. Eventually, you're going to end up biting the bullet on one of those. Thankfully, we're playing a depleted-ass Giants team because we need this win. Raiders take their anger out on the Giants, 41-14. Damn, dude, Dark, I hope you're right. Max and Yannick's going to eat? Yes, dude, they're going to feast this entire damn game. Max, Yannick are going to eat, and Perryman 12 more tackles. Dude, Perryman, it's insane how well he is playing this year. Like, beyond my highest expectations. Kubert, Wes Welker, Julian Edelman, Hunter Renfrow. Perryman is going to light someone up. I'm really hoping he gets just a turnover in this game. He deserves it. He deserves a pick six. I would love to see him get that. They have his zero good coverage linebackers from what I see. No, their coverage linebackers kind of suck. That's why I'm expecting these underneath routes to really kind of light them up for the entirety of the game. Yannick strip sack, Max 4 sacks, someone gets 2 picks. If Max gets 4 sacks, we're going to end up getting a few picks. I'd like to see Abram end up getting another pick. I want to see Hobbs end up getting a damn pick 6. Stoner like OBJ Jones and Aguilar, Renfrow and Edelman, D-Jax and Ruggs. We'll see, dude. We'll have to see how this all plays out. Hey, guys, don't forget daylight savings time tomorrow and end up missing part of the game. Facts about that. We get that extra hour of sleep tonight. I'm happy as shit about that. Giants D sucks against the run. They do, and that's why I'm fully expecting Josh Jacobs to get his ass over 100 yards finally. Stoner is not like OBJ and Jones is not like Aguilar. No, I don't see that, dude. Max and Yannick will finish on Jones this week and have Andrew Thomas on IR. Damn, dude. Eddie's let me just keep rolling down here. All right, jumping into that linebacker room. We got Perryman, dude. I love him. Littleton, like I said, has been playing a hell of a lot better, even though people still like to argue with me. I think Perryman's been playing one hell of a season, or Littleton's been playing one hell of a season. KJ Wright, you want to yell at me about somebody not stepping up and playing the person that you expected them to be? Come at me about KJ Wright, because I do not think he is playing at his fullest potential right now. I said when we signed him, I thought he had lost a step. He's playing quality football for us. Don't get me wrong. I don't think he's doing anything wrong, but he's not bringing that next level shit that he used to bring back in the day. But he is filling that gap for us, so I am not arguing about that. Kukowski, still bringing him in on those rundowns, and then Diablo still just playing special teams for us. I'm really curious to see if Markel Lee gets more involved in this defense this week. I don't understand, or I don't see where he will fit in. I think he's just going to be like kind of a spell guy, but he's going to get a few cracks out on the field. I want to see him take full advantage of that, like full advantage, and see if he can fill one of these extra roles for us. Really pulling for that kid. They're at the, like I said, Carter's out. Damn. So Quincy Richard or Roche is going to be playing. Then you got Crowder. Then you got Ragland. And then you got Agilori. Man, Screw that kid's name. Honestly, they're linebackers. They kind of suck against coverage. They kind of suck against the run. If you can get your offensive line pushing, kind of get them to that second level, you should end up having a field day on this. Derek Carr should be able to feast with our speed receivers cutting across the field on these guys. I really think that the Raiders had the advantage in this just because our linebacker room has been playing so damn good. But I think you're going to see Derek Carr exploit this linebacker room, and you're going to see Josh Jacobs. Because Derek Carr is doing that, you're going to see Josh Jacobs just completely going off. The pass is going to open up the run, and as soon as it does, Josh Jacobs is going to damn go off. So, advantage Raiders, thanks to Perryman and Littleton stepping up and really just holding it down for us. I wanted to trade for Aguilar when I heard the Ruggs news. Yeah, I don't know, dude. I was kind of done with Aguilar. Weather tomorrow, low 56, high 41. Chance of rain, 5%. No, dude, that'll be a good day for Derek. I'm telling you. It's not like bitterly cold. Damon, I'm a gangster Arnett. Dude, that shit killed me. Like, killed me. We need Morrow back. We do. It's like 3 more weeks from what I heard, which totally sucks. And then they're saying that Richie's going to be like another 2 to 3 weeks. But he said that, like, the Bengals game, I think, is what they're calling for. And then Mullen, they're calling for the Bengals game. So we'll see what happens with it. Aguilar is not producing in New England. He doesn't have a quarterback in New England, dude. People in New England are pissed over Aguilar's production. Yeah, dude. With the money he's getting paid, I'll give you that. Like, I'm sure they're pissed off about that. Littleton will never play like he did with the Rams years, but he has improved. He might never get back to that, and I'll give you that, dude. But if you watch him from the way that since he's been a Raider, he has drastically improved this season. Like, drastically improved. The injury report shows no one on the Raiders. Our active rosters are... Dude, we're like, Sean, we're completely healthy. The only person that's a scratch for this game, like for sure right now, is Kamal Seymour. It's our third string right tackle. He's already definitely marked for out for this game, but I don't even think he hits the report, to be honest with you. Littleton has no force behind his tackles, but 34 looks like lineman, or 34 looks like a lineman playing linebacker. Ah, man, dude, don't get Littleton shit, man. He's playing good. Stay behind that kid. If they're like a program for these young players on how not to F up you, I really wish there was, dude, because it's been a struggle. All right, let's keep pushing on. They got Bradbury, and they got Adoree Jackson playing those cornerback spots. This cornerback room, I always like to do the secondaries just kind of as a group. And then they got Logan Ryan, Xavier McKinney. They got Julian Love, and then it's Ebner. Ebner's out for this game. I like their secondary. I really do. It's the strongest part of their team. It's the reason that they were able to play their, like, just drop 4 and keep everything underneath you style of defense. Their secondary is definitely the strongest part of their team. They got a decent depth at it. Our secondary right now is still a little bit banged up. It's gonna end up being a meek, dude. And then Trufant kind of sucks. Which I'm just going to say it, dude. I know a lot of you guys are so high on Trufant. I've watched that kid play for years in Atlanta. It pisses me off, dude. I'm telling you right now, he's not the answer. He might be a guy that can be like that third depth piece. I do not see him doing shit. I see him actually getting washed off this team in a few weeks once we start getting people healthy and coming back onto the roster. I know it's going to piss some people off, but that just is what it is. Abrams been playing lights out. Merrick has been playing amazing. Hayward has been an all-star, like possible Pro Bowl cornerback this season. Because of that, the advantage has to go to the Raiders in both these secondary groups. I honestly thought about splitting it and giving the safety group to the Giants, which I still might actually do. But I think we definitely win that cornerback room, but just to keep it even, let me just go ahead and move this real quick. Raiders get the cornerback room because of Hayward. He's been playing lights out, and I really like the way that Fason's been playing. We'll go ahead and give them the safety room, though. Just because McKinney is damn good, and then Logan Ryan is damn good. I was really pulling for Logan Ryan before this season started. Keep it down. Oh, Everett, what's going on, dude? I'm glad you can make it out. It's not Aguilar's fault, in my opinion. I knew it was a bad fit since he signed with them. No, dude, that was a terrible move for them. Raid, what's going on, dude? It's not looking great for that core. No, that wide receiver room is not looking awesome right now. That is the reason the Giants have the advantage. But if a dude like Stoner could step up, a dude like Aitman can finally have his opportunity and step up, it's going to be fine. But Zay Jones is going to be the damn key. Like, Zay Jones is the key. Benson, what's happening? It's all about that Bono. Their offensive line must be the hottest garbage in the world, and we have the advantage. Dude, no. Don't. No, I'm telling you, humble man, their offensive line is pretty much trash. But our offensive line has played pretty damn good for the past couple weeks, man, and I want to see it continue on. Abrams matured a lot this year. He's keeping his mouth shut. He's listening to everything that's going on, and he is quietly making plays and having the best season he's ever had. Like, throughout his entire career going back into college. McKinney is out. No, I'm showing McKinney is in. I'm showing Ebner is out, dude. If McKinney's out, it had to have just popped up. All in on Zay Jones at this point. You have to be. At this point, you have to be all in on Zay Jones. Who is that? Oh. All right, let's keep moving on, dude. Jump into that punter and kicker position. You guys, I'm not even going to talk about how much that I love. Because I say it every damn week. A.J. Cole's going to the Pro Bowl. He's the best damn punter in football. There's no one. He's going to win this every week. Whether I do this live or I don't do it live, he's winning it for sure. And then as far as the kickers go, Daniel Carlson versus, who was that, Gano for them? I'm giving it to Carlson. We're taking the advantage. Dude, look, the bottom line is this. We have the true advantage in this game. Everything except the off-field distractions is going to be the only thing that catches this team off guard. The travel to the East Coast, I really don't think is going to matter too much just because we are playing such a depleted Giants squad. They're going to be playing strong. They're going to come out. They're at home. They're going to want to be playing for their fans. They want it. If they can get a win, they're technically still in like the playoff race. But if we beat them, we're starting to get in that point in the season to where if you're 2-7 going into your bye week, chances are you're going to be eliminated by the time you come out of your bye. So that's going to have them playing a little bit harder. But the Raiders have to come out and hold down this win. We will end up holding down our number 2 seed spot in the entire AFC. We'll end up still being in complete control of the AFC West, and it's going to help us tremendously going into into this next 3-week stretch moving forward, because after this Giants game, it gets hard as shit for a few weeks, and we have to be able to, 1, stay healthy, and 2, be able to at least win one of those 3 games over that 3-game stretch. We cannot lose this Giants game. It'll set us back tremendously. But I do see the Raiders pulling this game out. I do not think it's going to be a cakewalk. I just want to see us come out of it reasonably injury-free. But I do think the score is going to end up being a hell of a lot closer than a lot of people think it's going to be. I do not think it's going to be an incredibly high-scoring game. And I do think it's going to end up coming down to Carlson kicking a field goal. I'm calling this game 24-21. It's going to end up being a barn burner, and then we're going to end up pulling it out in the end. It's going to be another one where we're all pissed off until the very last kick, and then we're all celebrating. Well, that's why I'm calling it. I'm not going to put it on the screen because it takes a long time to type all that shit out. So I just want to jump into the comments, dude, get everything else from you guys. I know that took a minute for me to get through, but I appreciate you guys sticking around for it. And like I said, man, I haven't been live in a minute, so this shit isn't really rolling off too smooth right now. Nathan, what's happening? So Trufant is the next Swearinger. Zay is the, yeah, dude, yeah, Nathan, I completely agree. That is the best way to put that. I see him the exact same role as Swearinger, and I was happy as shit when we brought him on. The only difference about this is I wasn't happy when we brought Trufant on. Zay Jones has the best chemistry with Carr. In the offseason, he does, dude. In the offseason, he does. But as far as like them doing it during the game, I have not seen that shit happen, ever. Daniel Carlson missed kicks because he was on the Vikings. 59 likes, hit them likes, dude. I'm just happy to be talking to everybody again. Upstate, what's going on? It's been a minute, dude. I will be at the game tomorrow. Row 4 end zone. Oh, dude, that is huge. Congratulations. Zay looks faster this year, too. Hopefully. I mean, if Zay can bring it, dude, let him bring it. But if Zay was playing at a super elite level, he would have been playing above Ruggs. But Ruggs, he was getting reps mixed into that. Now he's going to have that shot to be on the field for like a 70 to 80% of our snap count. He's always been decent at blocking. It's just going to be a matter of Carr looking over and finding his way and giving him that shot. MetLife has the weirdest damn. It's just like a constant circle through the middle of that stadium. Eric, what's going on, dude? Love these lives. Keep them going. I appreciate it. 24-17. Yeah, like I said, I think it's going to be pretty close. Who do you want, Joku, OBJ, or Deshaun Jackson, or both? I want OBJ. I'm not going to lie. He demands a hell of a lot more respect than Djax does. And that's just the bottom line with that. I understand they can both stretch the field, but OBJ can do things that Djax can no longer do. And a lot of it's going to be those slant routes and those little interior routes. And there's been a lot of times, and we've all seen it thanks to his dad, to where Baker Mayfield just didn't hit him, and he was wide freaking open, like literally wide open. And you could tell, like there was plays where Baker wasn't even looking that way. And they did not have any kind of chemistry. And I'm not going to say that he's going to join this team and then all of a sudden him and Derek Carr are just going to have like instant chemistry and it's going to take off. It takes wide receivers like a good few weeks, one, just to learn a playbook, and then two, just to learn the chemistry with a new quarterback. That shit does not happen overnight. That is what the offseason and all the preseason games are for, is to be able to get adjusted to somebody's speed, understand what they're going to do when a play gets busted, understand what Derek Carr wants them to do when a play gets busted. There's so much that goes into it. It's not, I don't care like what level the wide receiver is. You can have like 3 or 4 plays for him, like going into a game like that first week. Maybe it's 5 or 6 that second week. But he won't even have this playbook down by the time the season ends if he comes onto the team right now. But that's another reason I think I'd rather bring him on, just because he has that more experience, to where, not more experience, but he just has that bigger play opportunity in front of him. Rose's going to go off this year. I hope you're right, Street Life. I really do. Mullen comes back. Trufant might be... Dude, that's what I'm saying. As soon as Mullen comes back, Trufant's the one that's getting the axe. That's why I don't see him, honestly, getting too worked into this game. I understand he's he's moved up our depth chart a little bit. I just don't see it happening. How's that rookie wide receiver? Dude, that's Pharaoh Cooper. That kid, I honestly like that kid coming out of college. I don't think he's going to have a huge impact on this game. I really think you're only going to see him maybe on their special teams, and you might see him worked in if somebody ends up getting hurt and knocked out of this game. But even if he does get worked in, he hasn't hit the field since 2020. Carr will be fine, or Carr will find anyone. He will. As long as Carr's not under tremendous pressure and he has that extra second, he will have the chance. He will hit every damn. He hit 9 wide receivers, 8 wide receivers, then 9 wide receivers. He was close to hitting 10 last game. Trade Arnett and Farrell to Green Bay along with the 5th for Adams and Income. Dude, I'd take that in a damn heartbeat. I don't think anybody's going to want to touch Arnett right now. That's the other part that sucks. Like, he's killing his own trade value. It seems like that dude's just done with the NFL. It really pisses me off, man. Zay Jones will make his opportunity count just like Aguilar did. I hope Big Votto Energy. Dude, I hope so too. But I'm really... If I had to poll for one of these guys to like really come out and just make a huge impact, Derek Carr and Aitman have a decent chemistry. We've seen it at very limited times, but he's always talked real highly of Aitman. I'd really like to see that kid come out and get a touchdown in this game. Stoner is a low-key beast. Curtis, I'm hoping you're right. I want to see it. But until I do, I'm not calling that kid a beast yet. My guess is we freed up just enough cap space for Djax, not OBJ. Yeah, I saw that we end up restructuring Richard to free up that extra $1 million. I knew they were going to be pulling something. It would make sense if they did free up that money for Djax. He was definitely coming at a cheaper price tag than OBJ would. But we had, $3 million? That would be $4 million, dude. Like, if we're giving them everything, $4 million for Djax is fucking insane. I would not pay that, dude. Let's see if Stoner shows out a bit. Our D-line is going to feast tomorrow. Yes, they are. Green Bay doesn't want Arnett and Farrell, plus the trade deadline is over. That is 100% right. We haven't yet stopped playing. Oh, Kenneth, what's going on, man? I'm glad you can make it out. Playing down to our competition. That's it. We have not played down to our competition. We did against that Bears team, but I really think that Gruden shit broke to the team before it broke to anybody else. And that's why you kind of saw us kind of eat shit in that game, which sucked to see. Put Waller outside, play Foster. See, I saw a lot of people talking about this the other night. I was watching Spotlight. He had a bunch of people on his show, and they were going back and forth, and they were like, dude, Waller played wide receiver at Georgia Tech on the outside. And that is true. He did. And he had a great time doing that. I just think him playing tight end for us just works better at the NFL level, and I think it works better for Waller. I think the matchups are more key to him. I want to see more two tight end sets, but I want to see our wide receivers. I want to see Zay Jones play one. I want to see Brian Edwards play the other, and I really want to see these guys come together, dude. Nobody wants Arnett, dude. It's a fucking bullshit. Looks like we have the advantage. we do have the advantage. We have the advantage in everything right now except the mental game. That is for the Raiders to overcome. As far as like roster go, we clearly have the advantage in this game. This team is beat to shit right now. There is no reason we should not come out and roll them. The only reason that we will lose this game is if we are not mentally ready for this game. I do not think we are going to underestimate this team at all. I think Derek Carr is going to have everybody ready. I think the coaching staff's going to have everybody ready. Gus Bradley doesn't seem like he underestimates anybody. This defense always seems like it's firing on all cylinders. We might give up 1 or 2 big plays, but as long as we can kind of play the run game and just kind of control Booker, everything else will fall into place behind that, especially if Yannick and Mad Max start feasting. DJX had a Zoom meeting with, yeah, dude, we talked about that earlier. $4 million, I hope that's maxed out by incentives and not guaranteed. That's what I'm saying, dude. I'm hoping that Edward gets more targets. He's been underutilized. Dude, he's been completely underutilized, and he was the big receiver that all of us were talking about stepping up, and Edwards was going to be the one to explode onto the scene. Maybe now he will. He's going to have that opportunity. If we get him in that one-on-one, he has proven he can go up and get that ball. Edwards' potential, we're not even scraped the surface of that kid. No, we haven't. I'm really hoping we do. Oh, Paul, what's going on? I'm late to the party, so maybe I missed the Carr and Edwards. I'd like to see Brian Edwards and Carr really, dude, yeah, go at it. Take your shot. See if Edwards can be that guy for you. See if he can be your Crabtree that we've all been hoping for. I'd love to see it. All right, man, that's pretty much what I have for you guys tonight. I got to wake up tomorrow morning. I know this show wasn't as smooth as my lives usually are, but I've never done this shit before, and I haven't done a live in like a month and a half. It'll get better as I keep going on. But until next time, guys, I'm Joku. Thank you all so much for checking it out. If you can click that like button on your way out, it really does help me out. We will catch